God saw darkness in the hearts of men. He saw wickedness everywhere. The world was filled with violence, corruption, and sin. People had turned away from righteousness, and their actions were an abomination. The earth was no longer a place of peace and harmony, but a realm of chaos and despair. God decided to start anew. He wanted to cleanse the world of its impurities and give humanity a fresh start. A new beginning was necessary to restore balance and order. The decision was not made lightly, but it was essential for the survival of goodness and virtue. He chose Noah, a good man. Noah was righteous and blameless among the people of his time. He walked faithfully with God. God spoke to Noah, revealing his divine plan. Noah listened intently, his heart filled with both awe and responsibility. He told Noah to build an ark. This ark would be a sanctuary, a vessel of salvation. It was to be constructed with precise measurements and sturdy materials, capable of withstanding the forthcoming deluge. The ark had to be big. It needed to be large enough to house not only Noah and his family but also a multitude of animals. The dimensions were vast, ensuring ample space for all its inhabitants. It needed to hold Noah's family. His wife, his sons, and their wives were to be saved from the impending disaster. They were to be the foundation of a new generation, a beacon of hope for the future. It needed to hold many animals too. Every kind of living creature, both male and female, was to be brought aboard. This was to ensure the preservation of life on earth, to repopulate the world after the floodwaters receded. God said a great flood was coming. The rain would pour down from the heavens and the springs of the great deep would burst forth. The waters would rise, covering everything in their path. He said the flood would cover the earth. Every mountain, every valley, every plain would be submerged. Nothing would escape the cleansing waters. It was a divine judgment, a reset for a world gone astray. God told Noah to bring 2 of every animal. Each species was to be represented, ensuring the continuity of life. The animals came in pairs, guided by an unseen hand, marching towards the ark. He said to bring a male and a female. Noah listened to God. He believed God's words. His faith was unwavering, and his obedience was absolute. He knew that following God's command was the only way to ensure survival. Noah knew he had to obey. With determination and faith he set to work, building the ark as instructed. His actions were guided by divine wisdom, and his heart was steadfast in the mission entrusted to him. Noah and his sons started to build. They worked tirelessly, day and night, driven by a sense of purpose and urgency. The task was monumental, but their faith and determination were unwavering. They cut down tall trees, selecting only the strongest and most resilient wood. Each tree was chosen with care, knowing that the ark's strength depended on the quality of the materials. They used the wood to make the ark strong. Every plank was meticulously shaped, every beam precisely placed. The craftsmanship was exceptional, ensuring the ark could withstand the coming deluge. The ark had to be sturdy. It was built to endure the most severe conditions, with reinforced beams and a solid structure. The builders left nothing to chance. It had to float on the water. Animals started to arrive. They came in pairs, just as Noah had been instructed. The sight was awe-inspiring, a testament to the harmony of creation. There were lions and lambs walking side by side in a peaceful procession. Predators and prey, united in their journey to safety. There were elephants and eagles, majestic and powerful. They moved with grace and purpose, knowing instinctively that the ark was their refuge. There were snakes and spiders, creatures that often go unnoticed. Yet they too had a place on the ark, a role in the grand design. There were creatures of all shapes and sizes. Noah's family gathered food. They gathered supplies, ensuring that every need would be met during their time on the ark. They carried them onto the ark. They stored everything carefully, organizing the provisions to last through the flood. Every detail was considered, every precaution taken. They had to be prepared. The flood was coming. Dark clouds gathered on the horizon, a reminder of the impending storm. But Noah and his family were ready, their faith guiding them through the uncertainty. The sky grew dark, heavy rain began to fall. It rained for days, the water rose higher and higher, the ark began to float, it bobbed on the water. Inside, the animals were safe. Noah's family was safe too. The rain continued, the water rose higher. Soon the whole world was flooded. Everything was covered in water. Section 4. 40 days and 40 nights. It rained for 40 days. It rained for 40 nights. The water covered the mountains. Everything was silent. Only the sound of rain filled the air. Inside the ark, Noah and his family waited. They prayed. They had faith. They trusted God to keep them safe. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months. The rain finally stopped, the sun peeked through the clouds. Section 5. A New Beginning. This is a story of renewal, of hope, and of faith. It is a tale that has been passed down through generations, reminding us of the power of perseverance and the promise of a brighter future. Slowly, the water began to recede. The flood that had once covered the earth was now diminishing, revealing the land beneath. It was a sign that the worst was over, and a new chapter was about to begin. The ark came to rest on a mountaintop. This was no ordinary mountain, it was a symbol of salvation and a beacon of hope for Noah and his family. They had endured the storm, and now they had found solid ground. Noah sent out a dove. This small bird carried with it the weight of their hopes and dreams. It was a messenger, seeking signs of life and land. The dove returned with an olive branch. There was land again. Noah opened the ark. The sight of the olive branch was a powerful symbol of peace and new beginnings. It meant that the earth was ready to be inhabited once more. He and his family stepped out. The animals followed. They were all safe. The fresh air and the sight of the open sky filled them with a sense of relief and gratitude. They had survived the great flood, and now they were ready to start anew. The world was new again. The once barren land was now teeming with life. Flowers bloomed, trees stood tall, and the air was filled with the sounds of nature. It was a beautiful sight, a testament to the resilience of life. God had kept his promise. The rainbow in the sky was a reminder of this divine promise. It was a symbol of hope and a sign that the earth would never again be destroyed by a flood. He saved Noah and his family. Their joy was immeasurable. They hugged each other, grateful for their survival and the chance to rebuild their lives. He saved the animals too. The animals who had been their companions throughout the journey were now free to roam the earth. They represented the continuity of life and the promise of a thriving future. The story of Noah's Ark is a story of faith. It is a testament to the power of belief and the strength of the human spirit. It shows us that even in the darkest times, faith can guide us through. It is a story of hope. Hope that even after the greatest of storms, there is a new dawn. Hope that life can begin again, stronger and more vibrant than before. It reminds us that God keeps his promises. The rainbow is a symbol of this eternal promise, a reminder that we are never alone. He is always with us, even in the darkest of times. No matter the challenges we face, we can find comfort in knowing that we are watched over and cared for.